Tonight, failed by the system, the parents in Surrey who say their children are being let down. They join a group of MPs who say thousands of young people with special educational needs are not getting the support they require, with devastating results.
Nothing has been closer to breaking me than securing a package of education for Liam. Nothing.
Also ahead, a teenager pleads guilty after a dangerous prank at Stratford Westfield, which could have cost a life. Plus...
Honestly, I can't imagine what it'd be like to actually be on the receiving end of this.
Scamming the Scammers, a powerful documentary into so-called sextortion and how teenagers are increasingly becoming targets. And Stones legend Ronnie Wood picks up his paintbrush again, this time for turtles.
I'm one of the oldest ambassadors, along with Prince William, and every little bit helps. All you can do is hope that it raises some good funds at auction.
Good evening. Failed by a broken system. Thousands of children in Surrey are missing school because they have special educational needs and cannot access the right provisions. More than 1,800 young people in the county are currently out of the classrooms, being let down, their parents say, by the council and the government. Well, last year, Labour announced a £1 billion investment in special education, but today parents and MPs came together to ask for more funding, saying it wasn't enough to end the scandal. Helen Keenan has the story.
I'm like an aeroplane!
Liam's missed more of his education than he's received. He has special educational needs and his mum says they've been failed by Surrey County Council.
Living in Surrey and having to deal with this being the education system that we have in Surrey is no different to being in an abusive relationship, except it's one you can't escape.
They tried specialist and mainstream schools, but Liam's needs were too complex. Now 16, he told me he was left without education for long periods of time.
Not getting education, being stuck at home, not wanting to socialise with anyone, not being in that sort of place was an awful experience, and I'd never want to go through it again.
Eventually, Liam was issued an education healthcare plan so he could get support and be educated at home. But his mum says she had to start legal proceedings against the county council to get them to comply.
Nothing has been closer to breaking me than securing a package of education for Liam. Nothing. Like, I cannot put into words the impact it has on your life.
Today, parents of SEND children in Surrey delivered a petition to the Education Secretary, signed by over 100 families calling for an investigation into the County Council.
Of course, we all know the SEND system is broken nationally, but there is overwhelming evidence of misconduct by Surrey County Council, of consistent law-breaking, gaslighting and lying to families, which is wrecking the lives of our most vulnerable children.
MPs say there are almost 2,000 children in the county currently missing out on school in Surrey because they cannot access the correct provision. One councillor told us the issues the county is experiencing with SEND are not simply reflective of the national picture.
Our internal process, procedures and attitudes make what is the national situation worse. So our processes do not work. We have very bureaucratic processes. Documentation is frequently lost.
Surrey County Council told us they welcome reform to the SEND system and that their dedication has resulted in 90% of EHCPs being issued in a timely manner over the past 6 months, compared to 46% nationally. But families say Surrey's SEND support services are in crisis. Helen Keenan, ITV News.
A teenage boy who launched a chair 50 foot off the top floor of Westfield in Stratford has pleaded guilty to criminal damage and recklessly causing a public nuisance. The 15-year-old was arrested after a video of the incident went viral and told police it's not that deep. Well, Graham Stothard is outside Westfield for us this evening. Graham, take us through what happened.
Well, you can see how tall Westfield is behind me. The chair was thrown off the top floor. It fell 50 feet and crashed into the ground, narrowly missing 3 people. It was 15 kilograms, so you can imagine the kind of damage it would have done had it struck somebody. As you said, it was filmed allegedly by the boys themselves. It was then shared on TikTok, but it was also caught on CCTV. The two 15-year-olds said to be involved appeared at Stratford Magistrates Court earlier. Neither can be named for legal reasons as they're too young. But prosecutors said the boy who threw the chair told police that he and his co-defendant regularly indulged in such so-called pranks, and some of which included throwing objects off bridges at trains. They said he also dismissed the seriousness of the incident, saying it wasn't that deep and that it didn't hit no one. Now, this happened back in March, and a security officer from Westfield actually told the court that there had been a level of unease among customers since the incident. The boy who threw the chair, as you mentioned, admitted criminal damage and recklessly causing a public nuisance. He is due to be sentenced on the 13th of August. The boy who allegedly filmed the incident, well, he denies the charges, and he will be in court again in September.
Right, Graham in Stratford there, thank you. Some other news now. Police in India have arrested a man in connection with the death of the world's oldest marathon runner. 114-year-old Fauja Singh, who lived in Ilford, died on Monday after being hit by a car in Punjab. He took up running in his 80s and started a running club in East London before going on to break multiple world records. Well, Amritpal Singh Dhillon is being held by police, accused of hitting Mr Singh with an SUV before driving away. There were more housing complaints logged in London than anywhere else in the country last year. The local government and social care ombudsman received more than 5,000 complaints from Londoners, with the capital accounting for 52% of all housing complaints and inquiries across the country. And Emma Watson has been banned from driving for 6 months in order to pay a £1,000 fine. The Harry Potter actor, who lives in North London, was driving 38 miles per hour in a 30 zone in Oxford last July. She already had 9 points on her licence. The family of a woman who was kidnapped from her home in Wimbledon more than 50 years ago, carrying out new searches for her body. Muriel McKay is thought to have been killed at Stocking Farm in Hertfordshire in 1969. Police spent 8 days searching the site last July, but it proved unsuccessful. Rebecca Hayworth has the latest.
This inconspicuous piece of equipment could help find a body that's been missing for more than half a century. Muriel McKay was kidnapped and murdered in the late 1960s. She was mistaken for the then wife of media mogul Rupert Murdoch. The 55-year-old was held captive at Stocking Farm near Bishop Stortford in Hertfordshire for £1 million ransom. Her killers were jailed, but her body was never found. 5 decades on, and her family are now carrying out a fresh search.
It's really good news that we've had such sensible leads, no wind-ups, no one taking the mickey, and it's really refreshing, isn't it? I believe it's because it's so long ago, and the people who were on the outskirts of this, their lives must have been also affected, but they must have almost died from guilt.
This field next to Crabs Green Farm in Hertfordshire is one of 2 locations they're searching today. We're less than a mile away from Stocking Farm, which is where Muriel was held to ransom back in 1969. Today, they're using ground-penetrating radar to scan quite a small rectangular area of grassland here to try and give them some clue as to where Muriel's body is.
The Met Police says it has no involvement in this latest search. Its investigation concluded after further searches in 2022 and last year.
All Diane, Ian, and for that matter, Jenny, who are still alive, and the McKay family want is closure and is an end to the story so that we can tell you at ITV, we've got her, she's getting a decent burial. We know how she died now. We've had a coroner's report. The end.
It'll take around a week for the data to come back. The family hopes it gives them the answers they've been so desperately searching for. Rebecca Howarth, ITV News, Hertfordshire.
Next tonight, to a crime on the rise. Sextortion, as it's known, is a scam where criminals threaten to share sexual pictures or videos of somebody unless they pay money. Teenagers, specifically, are being targeted, and new figures suggesting 65% of young people will be affected. Well, Rizzlekick star Jordan Stevenson has been looking into this for a new documentary, taking him from London to Nigeria. Daisy Bussell explains.
You should redeem the card at your place, then you send me the $200 back, then I free you.
It's a crime on the rise. Faceless criminals targeting young boys.
Honestly, I can't imagine what it'd be like to actually be on the receiving end of this.
Sextortion is when scammers, often overseas, forge a romantic online relationship with unsuspecting victims and then encourage them to send explicit photos or videos.
I swear that I will destroy your life.
They then blackmail them for money. In a new documentary, musician Jordan Stevenson posed as a target himself and met his scammer face to face.
The team developed a piece of software where, I've created a fake profile. I tricked a scammer into revealing their location, which was accurate to about a metre. And then we jumped on the plane. In this case, it was Nigeria. It doesn't just happen in Nigeria. And yeah, I wanted him to know that there are consequences. Like, I can't explain how heartbreaking it is that this falls on the shoulders of boys, innocent boys, who aren't able to understand how to alleviate themselves of that pressure. It's really scary.
The National Crime Agency said it received 380 sextortion reports last year, while hundreds of reports were also made to police forces across the country. This form of online blackmail has been linked to the suicides of 4 British teenagers. One of them was 16-year-old Dinalda Alwis, a sixth form student from South London. His blackmailer has still not been identified. 90% of sextortion victims are boys aged 14 to 17, and for Jordan, it's a male issue on both sides of the crime.
Do you enjoy doing this?
I don't enjoy doing it, but I have to do it because I need money. Without this, I'll just drop out in school because I have no support.
I was surprised and shocked, maybe I shouldn't have been, by some of the scammers I spoke to were incredibly young themselves. The documentary to me felt like a damning indictment of the Globe's treatment of boys, because it's like you have a boy trying to survive, scamming and endangering the life of a boy, who doesn't know any better. It was heartbreaking,
While locating the perpetrators remains a huge challenge for authorities, Jordan's message for victims is to speak out.
I really want people to understand that the feeling they're going through, the panic, the fear, it will dissipate. You have to speak to somebody. The shame doesn't exist as boldly as you think it does.
In the hope that no more young lives will be lost to this money-making scheme. Daisy Bussell, ITV News.
Still to come. Ronnie Wood on making conservation cool, and
these women are at the counter going, I'll have a mocha, Soph will have a latte and a babyccino for the little one.
The head of the Edinburgh Fringe, comedian Tiff Stevenson, is here to try out some new material. But first, for 7 decades, Ysgol Gymraeg Llundain has played a unique role within the suburb of Hanwell. It is the only Welsh-speaking school outside of Wales, teaching children in West London to become fully bilingual in both Welsh and English. But now the primary school's future is uncertain, as Antoine Allen reports.
Rydyn ni yn mynd I gyfansoddi pennill o gan am Gymru. We are going to create a song about Wales.
For decades, the Welsh curriculum has been taught in West London. But one of the most unique schools in the country's future is under threat.
Without the funding from the Welsh Government, we can't continue to run the school, which would be devastating. The school's been here almost 70 years, and to lose the school now would just be devastating to the community.
An annual £90,000 grant from the Welsh Government funds these lessons at the London Welsh School. The goal here is to give students the same tailored Welsh school lessons they would experience if they were in Wales, instead of the Hanwell Community Centre in Ealing. Former students say lessons here enable them to feel comfortable when they go back to Wales or speak with their family.
It's really good because half of the people don't actually think I'm from London. They think I'm from where they are. And when I tell them I'm from London, they're all shocked.
My mum speaks Welsh to me, but I don't think I would have learnt to write and read.
The school's grant came from a Welsh Government strategy to achieve 1 million Welsh speakers by 2050. The government have extended the grant until the next academic year, but beyond that, the future of this Welsh community hub is in doubt. There are 12 pupils currently registered at the fee-paying school, but with 20 children in its mother and toddler group, the school believe it's a necessary part of London's diverse culture, and the parents agree.
The school is like the hub of a bigger Welsh community here, so if the school disappears, I feel like the whole of that community will disperse.
The last 2 years I've driven almost 70 miles on a Monday and a Tuesday for my children to come to this school, and the fact that even though I work in England, I've been able to get them to speak the Welsh language. We now have to give it up. It's devastating.
The Welsh Government told ITV News, our funding to promote Welsh language is typically subject to annual applications, and we are therefore unable to confirm long-term funding beyond that point. However, we remain committed to promoting the Welsh language in London. The school hopes the government will recognise how important these lessons are to their proud community outside of Wales. Antoine Allen, ITV News.
Ronnie Wood has swapped his guitar for a paintbrush for a powerful cause. The rock and roll legend is one of the number of stars who've contributed to the Tusk Turtle Trail, a new public art installation weaving its way through central London this summer to raise awareness for the endangered species. Rags Martell has more.
Watch out! There are turtles about.
Does he have a name?
Yeah, he does. Prodigal. The
Prodigal.
yes.
The prodigal. All right.
It keeps coming back.
Around town, there's now a trail of turtles.
So, Ronnie, tell me what's going on with the turtles?
Well, they're my old pals, you see, and I called this one Prodigal because they're born on a beach, aren't they? Go round the world and come back to the exact spot where they were born. So the prodigal son returns.
This a launch of a campaign to get Londoners to think about marine wildlife, with celebrities painting their own turtles to be auctioned off at the charity Tusk.
And what's the purpose? What's the plan to have these turtles in London?
Raise as much money as possible for Tusk, because I'm one of the oldest ambassadors, along with Prince William and Charlie Mayhew.
And how is this public artwork in London going to save the turtles?
Well, every little bit helps, you know, and all you can do is hope that it raises some good funds at auction.
These pictures were shown on Piccadilly's big screens by the charity Tusk, highlighting the risk they have from plastic pollution and habitat loss. The comedian John Cleese and his wife Jen also have this contribution called Teddy the Turtle.
There's 7 species of them and 6 of them are endangered. You know, this is true of everything now. And it's so important because these creatures, you know, that we're related to them. They're not things over there. We have a real relationship with them.
Steve and I had a long discussion. You know, I can imagine 2 dragons debating. But the idea is sort of the deep blue sea right through to the deep black sky, up to the stars and everything in between. So everything is connected.
Well, they're calling this the Tusk Turtle Trail, where 17 of these sculptures will be placed all around central London with the aim of helping save these endangered animals. And on behalf of humanity, if you could talk to the turtle, what would you tell them?
I'd say, be careful trying to crawl along the beach when you're tiny. I'm glad you made it, you know, because they get pecked off, don't they?
The Turtle Trail starts tomorrow with the painted sculptures scattered around town on show until August. Rags Martell, ITV News, Piccadilly.
Now, my guest tonight is a familiar face, not just on the comedy circuit, but also as an actor in shows including The Office and People Just Do Nothing. But next month, Tiff Stevenson gets back to her stand-up roots with a new 1-hour show at the Edinburgh Fringe. A warning, the title may not be for young ears. It's called Postcoital. In it, Tiff tackles everything from the economy to pole dancing to terraforming.
Elon Musk has recommended, because we're running out of resources here, we should terraform Mars. Now, men, you can go. Women, we aren't going, right? Men, you can go, according to the Holy Scripture, it's where you're from. Women, we're not going. I'll tell you why women aren't going. Mars has 3 moons. Some of the women have worked that out. That means 3 periods. 3 periods, let me tell you, men, you are not ready for that heat, mate. They don't call it the red planet for nothing.
I'm very pleased to say Tiff Stevenson joins me now. It's true, all the women worked it out pretty quick, I have to say. Tiff, thank you so much for coming. Look, despite what the title implies, this new show, it tackles lots of different things, doesn't it? All in 1 hour.
It does.
What's your inspo?
My inspo is my life. And my family and my husband and my cat and everyone. Yeah, basically, it's just a very open-ended way of me running through all the things in my head before I go to sleep. So quite a bit of the show's about ageing. I'm a very interesting age now. I'm the kind of age where if I turn down an alcoholic drink at the bar, people are saying to me, you know, oh, are you on antibiotics? So that's a new phrase. Before, you know, people would say, oh, maybe. Are you, you know, so that's fun. So it's about life, really, in the middle bit of life.
Yeah.
Which I guess I'm in middle age now, and that's a phrase that people get quite upset to hear. But the middle bit's got to be the best bits, where everything happens, right?
Oh, gosh, yes. It just keeps on getting better and better. That's what I think. It's observational, a lot of it, as you say, is about your life. And you do talk about a lot about living in Muswell Hill, which you say is quite a posh part of London.
It is. I don't know how much I fit in around Muswell Hill, although they did open up a Cash for Gold about 6 months after I moved there, so I don't know.
It's interesting, though, because you do talk about class quite a lot in your routines, in your stand-up, don't you? So it's obviously, you know, in a way to make us laugh, but you also, you're making a point. You're getting the audience to think about it and the impact that it still has on society, I guess.
Yeah, and the opportunities and what comes out of that and who gets to be... I mean, I'm exploring a bit of feminism in this, but who gets to be truly empowered by feminism, you know? And is it really just middle-class women, you know? So there's a bit of an exploration of that, but it's not a massively heavy show. My last show was about getting married in my 40s, which I'm in my 40s, much to the shock of everyone watching, I'm sure. Yeah, which I can recommend, although the registrar did ask if we also wanted wills, which I thought was a bit rude.
2 for the price of 1.
Listen,
you do like to stand out on the streets of, I think, Muswell Hill. There's some pictures of you now, posted on Instagram. So have you always been this shy and retiring?
Yes,
Tiff? This is
yeah,
what
I have. That's actually on the streets of Lymington. That's Lymington High Street.
Lovely.
Yes, yeah. So that's me trying on some outfits and posing on the street. Yes, people do stop very politely. In the middle of getting on with their day, but yes.
Do you know what? It's good to make a statement, I think so.
They call that dopamine dressing, by the way, fashion people.
Oh, I love
so
that.
in order to try and increase your dopamine, to wear like bright citrusy colours.
I'm going to try that. I don't know if it works in the studio, but I will try. You are a Londoner through and through, and I've got to ask you quickly about your dad, who used to manage Wembley Stadium back in the day.
Yes, yeah.
That's unbelievable. And you've met people, including Freddie Mercury.
I didn't meet Freddie. I met Annie. I met John Moss from Culture Club.
Wow.
So I actually sat on Annie's lap while she was doing her makeup to go on stage. So
goodness
that was years and years ago. In fact, Dad was there when Live Aid.
Oh wow, which is just the 40th anniversary.
Has,
oh gosh, I wish I had another 3 minutes to talk to you. But I just want to make sure I tell everyone that you're on the Edinburgh Festival and the Monkey Barrel from the 1st of August to the 24th. Tiff Stevenson.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, it is time for the weather. Sally is here.
Hi,
Sally,
Lee.
is there another heat wave on the way?
No, which is a good thing because we've already had 3.
That's true.
And that would be 4 at the midpoint in summer.
Yeah.
However, we have got a warm waft, I think is probably a good way of putting it. So we got up to 27 today, could get up to 28 tomorrow and maybe 30 on Friday, and then it tails off again. So there is a little warm burst on the way. Here we go.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello again. I hope you had a super day. Look at this lavender. I bet that smells fabulous. Oh, to be a bee. Now, I have got some nice warm weather over the next couple of days if You like it like that, but it's also going to be quite humid, I'm afraid, and mostly dry, although the odd shower around. But as we get to the weekend, the rain and the showers do start to move in. There is a lot of uncertainty, though. Let's take a look at the here and now. So outside tonight, increasingly clear skies, although a bit more cloud moving in by the end of the night. Maybe a little bit of mist forming as well. And our temperatures are a bit milder than last night, more of us into those mid-teens. So the slight return of some more sticky and uncomfortable nights. As we go into tomorrow, that cloud starts to arrive and you can see it staying with us quite a lot of the day. The odd shower to the west, north and west, but most of us are likely to stay dry. And you can see a bit more sunshine coming through as the day goes on. Temperatures warmer, highs of 28 degrees tomorrow, and we've got that increased humidity as well. Not a bad end to the day, increasing amounts of sunshine for most of us staying dry. And then on Friday, we get even warmer temperatures, possibly up to 30. They cool down through the weekend and we could see some thundery downpours. We'll keep you posted.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
Well, we seem to be through the worst of the grass pollen season, although there is still some around, and weed pollen now as well. But moderate to high levels over the next few days, helped by some rain at times. Take care. Cheerio.
Thanks, Sally. And finally tonight, pop star Leona Lewis has been made an OBE today for services to music and charity. The Islington-born singer won the X Factor back in 2006. She was joined at Windsor Castle by fellow Londoner Mylene Klatt, who received an MBE for campaigning on women's health and miscarriage awareness and care.
It was wonderful to get the King's reaction to the work that I'm doing in the miscarriage and women's health care arena, because he was quite surprised to hear that at the moment you still have to wait for 3 consecutive miscarriages. I said to him, you wouldn't wait for 3 heart attacks, and he completely agreed with that before you get any kind of medical intervention. So he asked what the plan was. Are we being supported? What's the next steps? Working with Tommy's, working with incredible charities and campaigners. How are we going to go forward?
Well deserved to both of them. And that is it from us for now. The evening news is next with Mary, but for now, from the London team, bye-bye. Have a good evening.